In today's video, we look at two vehicles commissioned by a fan on Discord. These are based on Los Angeles Fire Department units, specifically a Pierce Arrow XT engine and a Dodge Ram 5500 ambulance. I don't really build cars and trucks, not because I don't find them interesting, but because I can't do much more than a static model at this scale. That being said, I was interested in giving this a shot, having not designed any road vehicles since the fictional old-time bus. When I say this scale, I of course mean 1:48, but both models are scaled up a decent amount in order to get to 8 wide, both for building convenience and to hold battery boxes. These in turn power LEDs behind the headlights and taillights, which the client specifically requested and which I managed to implement with some difficulty using standard form factor bulbs. Let's take a look at each individual vehicle. The engine is the more complex model of the two due to the larger amount of greebles and related structural considerations. The battery box occupies all of the usable height and width of the center of the model because I need to run wires over it and build non-structural details around it. Subsequently, only a few plates hold the front and back of the vehicle together, which I ultimately found unacceptable. As such, I made the roof a structural element. It adds another connection between the front and the back at the top of the model, which makes the whole thing much more sturdy when fully assembled. It still comes off relatively easily to access the battery box, though removing both the roof and the box will put the model in a fairly fragile state. The rest of the build follows my usual MO of using more common small parts than more specialized large parts, though I did get to try some tires and windows that I never use. The wheels could use something like a 1L axle with a 2L pin without friction. The short, frictionless version doesn't quite give enough support, and the arches rub a little. The ambulance is the less complex model of the two due to the smaller amount of greebles and more internal volume for structure. Nonetheless, the design has some compromises, such as the striping stickers along the cab or the outward-facing LEDs behind the headlights. Having to route the wires for said lights also makes the front area a little fragile. Routing the wires for both models was extremely finicky, but still less so for the ambulance. I again got to use windows and wheels I would otherwise never use. I liked this particular wheel because they come in pearl silver and have a stud for something. It also has a bit more clearance to the fender and therefore rolls a little bit better. Finally, the roof, not structural this time, still comes off easily to access the battery box. And that's pretty much it. There's less to talk about here since there's no mechanical components. You can email the channel or message me on social media for commission inquiries, and please consider subscribing if you like what we do. On that note, this is the end of the video, so have a nice day.